Welcome, welcome, welcome to episode 87 of the show with no name. I'm your humble host, Nick, and today we're going to continue exploring this awesome old cemetery out here in Isabela, Puerto Rico. This cemetery goes by the name of the Cementerio Municipal de Isabela, and this is part 2 of my documentation of the cemetery. Let's get into this. This was a very unique cemetery in its own right, and I found it to be pretty interesting that a lot of the people that passed away here, they were either at or really close to 100 years old. The people that were buried in this cemetery generally outlived the normal population as far as age is concerned. And of course, you got the good contrast here, which really shows between the graves that are visited regularly by family members and the graves that you can clearly see have been abandoned for a long time now. I always think it's really cool when they're right next to each other like this, and you can really see the contrast of it all firsthand. Something else that I've noticed since I've been coming out to a lot of these cemeteries is the sheer amount of veterans that were from Puerto Rico, specifically the Korean War. Puerto Rico, the island, has produced a lot of veterans per capita, and it was just quite shocking to me. I didn't think that many people from Puerto Rico were veterans. A lot of them served in the military here. This is almost becoming a military island in that sense, because I'm noticing it more and more. Every cemetery I see, there are a lot of veterans that served in the United States military forces here on the island. And I don't think many people outside of Puerto Rico really know how many people from this island are veterans. The amount is pretty staggering, if you ask me. They packed everything in here pretty nicely, as you can see. There's a lot of headstones in this cemetery here for the small size. The cemetery isn't very big at all, but wow, they sure were able to fit a lot in here. Corchado Juarbe was born on September 12, 1840, in Isabela, Puerto Rico. He was a poet, journalist, and politician who defended the abolition of slavery and the establishment of a university in Puerto Rico. Through his written works, he criticized the way the people of Puerto Rico were being treated by the island's Spanish-appointed government. He would receive his primary education, and in 1855, his parents sent him to Barcelona, Spain, to receive his secondary education. He would earn his law degree from the University of Barcelona. He was a supporter of the Spanish Revolution of 1868, believing that the Spanish colonies will enjoy more liberties with the establishment of a new regime. In 1871, after the successes of the revolution, which established a republican government, he was elected to represent the District of Mayagüez and Puerto Rico before the Spanish courts in Barcelona. He made great use of his position to denounce the use of capital punishment and voice his support of the new Spanish Constitution. He also delivered speeches in which he favored the improvement of social and economic conditions for the Spanish colonies. In 1875, though, the Spanish royal family returned to power, and he decided it was too dangerous to continue on with his political quest. In 1879, he returned to Puerto Rico In 1881, he moved to Ponce, and he became a member of the new Reformist Party and ran for the position of representative to the Spanish courts for said party. He was elected to represent the district of Aguadilla, and he returned to Spain. He made many enemies in Spain, though, because of his views, and he was even accused of electoral fraud. In Madrid, he was challenged to a gun duel. He accepted the challenge, and on November 30th, 1884, he died of the wounds that he received. Moments before he died, he told his wife the following: "Tell them my name, that I accomplished the mission of sacrificing my life for my country." He was buried in Madrid, but in 1993, his remains were transferred to Isabela, and he was interred into the local cemetery here on the island. Ramos Calero was born on June 2nd, 1919. He was born and raised in the town of Isabela, Puerto Rico. In 1941, he joined the Army and was assigned to Puerto Rico's 65th Infantry Regiment. There, he received training as a rifleman. Upon the outbreak of World War II, he was reassigned to the 3rd U.S. Infantry Division and sent to Europe. In 1945, his company was in France and engaged in combat against a squad of German soldiers in what is now known as the Battle of the Calmare Pocket. He attacked the squad, killing 10 of them and capturing 21 shortly before being wounded himself. Since then, he was nicknamed the One-Man Army by his comrades. He had been wounded a total of 4 times in Europe by the time the war ended, and he was awarded a total of 22 decorations and medals for his actions, making him the Puerto Rican soldier with the most military decorations in all of the United States during the World War II conflict. He also served in the Korean War as a personal assistant to the regimental commander, Brigadier General William W. Harris. He retired in 1962 with the rank of Sergeant First Class. He passed away on February 10, 1989. He was 69 years old. He was buried at the Puerto Rican National Cemetery, and not in this cemetery, but I still wanted to talk about him because I think he was such an important person, and he was literally born right here in this area of Isabela, Puerto Rico. I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos of this wonderful cemetery out here in Isabela, Puerto Rico. This is part 2 of my documentation of this cemetery, and it really was a wonderful one. Thank you.